Oh boy. Now, this is an old article. It's from 2021. It's an old article, but I think it's relevant. I want to talk about a subject that is not near and dear to my heart, but one that I am nevertheless interested in. Batman animated series from J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves coming to HBO Max. The Powerhouse directors joined DC Animated Universe veteran Bruce Timm for a reimagining of Caped Crusader that returns to the character's noir roots. I liked the DC Animated Universe show, Batman animated series, in which Bruce Timm was a driving factor along with a bunch of other men. They made a great show. Then they made another great show in Superman animated series and Batman Beyond, and Justice League wasn't bad either. And then, for some reason, Warner Brothers decided that they were just going to destroy their animation and their promotion of their properties. Sure, there were shows like the Legion of Superheroes show that was on Kids WB. There was Teen Titans. There was Young Justice. There's another one I'm forgetting. But nevertheless, these shows existed. There was the Batman show. The Batman, I think it was called. It was on Kids WB for a while. But these things are like 15 years old at this point, or more. Or more, most of them. And since then, there's been very little. What we've gotten are Batman, the Brave and the Bold, which had 3 seasons, only 65 episodes, ended in 2011. That's when they stopped producing that show. Almost 15 years old. Since then, they've made Beware the Batman, which only had 1 season and was totally irrelevant. I've never seen a single episode of this show. I don't know anyone that ever talks about it or cares about it. It's probably because they did something really stupid, like not use the iconic villains right off the bat. No Robin, instead you get whatever character this is. Stupid Grant Morrison villains, totally irrelevant to the broader culture. Oh, we want to introduce them. Yeah, we'll introduce them over time in your show, not right off the bat. Let's just read a little summation of this. Crime-fighting vigilante Batman teams up with sword mistress Katana and his ex-secret agent butler Alfred Pennyworth. No one wants to see Alfred fight anybody. The only time you might want to see that is if somebody breaks into the Batcave or to Wayne Manor or something, and Alfred just, busts out a shotgun or something, or just totally dispatches them. And you're like, whoa, is Alfred awesome, or what's his backstory? Way more interesting than him actually fighting, going out on cases. To face the criminal underworld led by Anarchy, Magpie, Ra's al Ghul, Tobias Whale, Phosphorus Rex, Professor Pig, Mr. Toad, Lady Shiva, Killer Croc, and Humpty Dumpty. Anarchy, in particular, was intended to be the main villain in the series. How could this show not succeed with all these well-known villains? The most well-known of them, Ra's al Ghul, Mr. Ra's al Ghul. It's just a Batman Begins, I guess. Oh my word. Magpie? Are we serious? John Byrne creation? I mean, I like John Byrne, but not a winner. Not a winner, John. Oh. Anyways, back to the article. You see my point. Stuff is trash. J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves are reteaming for a new Batman animated series. Oh man, J.J. Abrams. And everything he touches turns to gold. Turns to gold, friends. This is how Hollywood works. Where they don't actually care if something is good or not. They just want to apparently continue to give things to people that kill franchises. People used to like J.J. Abrams. Can you believe that? There was a time when people were like, give Star Wars to J.J. Abrams. He'll know what to do with it. Here's a teaser poster for this show they're conceiving. And I gotta admit, it would be cool to see Batman go back to sort of an old school style animation, stories modeled after the Batman the Animated Series with a little bit more maturity to it, taking the audience seriously, not just being intended for children. Like, I enjoy Batman the Brave and the Bold, but I couldn't just sit there and watch the episodes because it was meant for children. Only children. Whereas this show was meant for everybody. It was meant to be a good show, a good Batman show. I'm not this one. Batman the Animated Series. And then as I look at this article, I see this. Here's a first look at the art from the new Superman animated show that they were apparently making. I don't know if it's been canceled. A lot of stuff at DC got canceled. And at Warner Brothers got canceled when they got bought out by Discovery. So this show may be gone. It may not exist. I don't know. This is the first animated series in many years, Superman series in many years. And we want to tell our Superman stories through the trio of Clark, Lois, and Jimmy, whose relationship dynamic will allow for rich, serialized, and engaging stories as we explore their lives as individuals and their journey together as friends. So they do a semi-anime looking style, which hypothetically there's nothing wrong with. But you get the idea of what this is going to be. Strong female. Pete. Usually it's Pete that gets changed into a black man. This time it's Jimmy. Jimmy, another redhead, has become of darker complexion. Because that's what they do. For some reason, instead of creating a compelling... It's not like you could include, I don't know, John Henry Irons, Steel, in one of these as a main character. He could be in it, right? Superman's friend. They hang out at the same diner. You don't want it to be a bar, but maybe it's somewhere Superman, Clark Kent frequents because he's trying to get information about a report that he's doing, a news report, article he's writing. So he goes and talks to these people, and he becomes John Henry Irons' friend. And then he saves him one day, and that inspires him to become Steel. And then occasionally they team up on things instead of just race swapping. This right here is a reaction to anime and manga. This right here. They're trying to make things like Gwyneth Paltrow. They're trying to make things that are relevant to the shifting culture. They know that anime is dominating the culture of the youth today because of its availability, how much of it there is, how cheap it is, free in many cases, or on a service that someone already has, rather than, come over to Warner Brothers, come over to HBO Max. I know you don't have it, but we've got a brand new Velma show for you. We've got an Aquaman show for you. Oh, cancel. Oh, terrible. Everyone hates it. We've got a new Superman show. Oh, really? It's going to be like Superman, the animated series from back in the day. It was fantastic and great classic Superman stories and really embodies what was great about the idea of Superman. No, it's going to be about Clark, Lois, and Jimmy, whose relationship dynamic will allow for rich, serialized, and engaging stories as we explore their lives as individuals and their journey together as friends. Not as Superman fights evil. They fight against the tyranny of Darkseid as he tries to invade Earth. As they fight the political machinations and business machinations of Lex Luthor. No. The relationship dynamic between Clark, Lois, and Jimmy. Now, this may be a good show. I don't know. Is it out? Did it get canceled? Who knows? Who cares? It's totally irrelevant. I didn't know it existed until I clicked on this years old article. Until these companies actually make new IP, new products, and get them out where people can actually see them, and not in a bad way like Velma, where everyone is mocking it and rolling their eyes and saying, this is hideous, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. But actually, good word of mouth. Hey, have you seen that show? It's actually free over on whatever service. Yeah, you don't even need to sign up for an account. It's on Tubi or whatever. It's Fox owns that. But you get my point. The availability of things matters. The quality of things matters. And as long as they keep doing this, they are doomed to fail. They'll just keep coming out with things from J.J. Abrams to make a little bit of money and go away and are irrelevant. Does anyone care about the J.J. Abrams Star Trek films now? No. They barely cared about them at the time. Did they make money? Yes. Diminishing returns. We know what happened with Star Wars. But it's not just J.J. Abrams. It's the entirety of Hollywood. There has not been a Batman show in 10 years. Batman, Beware the Batman. And it was a failure. It was a failure. 26 episodes. That's one season. Awful. Just awful. Ten years later, we get a show that doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. This article's years old. Instead, we just go to the Batman franchise. Does this exist? Will it ever exist? I don't know. Oh well.